2023 Phoenix Suns rest in peace. Okay, in all seriousness, the Suns are dead, at least this year's version. Not exactly a surprise when you consider the fact that CP3 was hurt yet again in the playoffs, and DeAndre Ayton did not play in Game 6 because of the injury and really was ineffective in the other games. The reality is this group was trying to win a championship this year. They traded a shit ton to go get Kevin Durant in that big trade with the Nets. So you know they're thinking one thing and one thing only, and that is championship, especially when their new owner, Matt Ishbia, just spent $4 billion on the Suns and the Mercury. So what is next for the Phoenix Suns? Dude, there's a lot of big questions. It's not exactly like they're flush with draft picks and a ton of cap flexibility. Chris Paul, at 38 years old, makes $30.8 million next year, but only 15.8 of that is guaranteed for next season. That's a big question. What is CP3's future with this team? 38 years old, and he declined this year. I mean, I'm not going to hate on the guy. He's one of the great players to play in this game, but the reality is he's not the same guy, and come playoff time, you can't count on him. And if the goal is to win a championship with Durant and Booker, you got to give those guys some help. The depth wasn't there this year. They didn't have enough surrounding these guys. I think they wanted more from Okogie, Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet. Can't really count on TJ Warren, who's been out of the league for like 2 years before getting this opportunity. So where do they go? I think they really have to consider what to do with Chris Paul. Can they trade Chris Paul? What could they get in return for Chris Paul? They need something stable at that spot, something that they can count on. And as much as I like CP3, you've not been able to count on him. The next biggest question is DeAndre Ayton. It seemed like he was on his way to the Pacers after signing that offer sheet. The Suns elect to match it. It's clear this is not a fit. Bad vibes all the way around. And this kind of goes back to even last year with the way the Suns got eliminated against the Dallas Mavericks and how they responded this year. The vibes are good. Jay Crowder didn't want to be there. He didn't show up to camp. They eventually trade him to Milwaukee. DeAndre Ayton doesn't feel like he wants to be there. Not even responding to some of his teammates in the huddle. He looks completely checked out. If I'm Phoenix, we're calling the Pacers again. You know that they liked your guy. They wanted him. They'd love to pair him with Halliburton. And I feel like there's a natural fit there. Work out a trade. I don't know what all the pieces would be, but Miles Turner to Phoenix, a big who could block shots, space the floor with Durant and Booker, that's not too bad. So now it's going to be interesting to see how the Suns pivot, but those are some big decisions to make. When you have to consider the futures of Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, there's some work to do. But the good news for them, Devin Booker is showing why he is one of the best players in the game. And you got him along with KD, you should be in the mix for things in the West.